Hi, I'm Nancy L.T. Hamilton, and I have a fabulous tip for you today in this video. I'm going to show you how to make a perfectly matched pair of ear wires that have not only a place to hang your dangles off of, but also it has a little locking mechanism so that the earrings don't fall off the back of somebody's ears, which has happened with several of my customers. So I spent a lot of time making ear wires and looking at ear wires, and found this method that I think you're going to love. I love it. Somebody probably already invented it, but as far as I'm concerned, I invented it. So we'll go with that. Let's get started. I'm ready. Are you? Welcome to Nancy Hamilton's Earring Factory. I was making a pair of earrings for a friend, and I thought the process of making the wires was too slow, so I've made, I don't know, 50 pairs, trying to streamline the process. During my experimentation and trying to get this right, I discovered a method for making almost perfectly matched, a perfectly matched set of ear wires, and it's a quick process, so I thought I would share it with you. So what you're going to need are wire cutters. I'm using 20 gauge brass for practice. I would normally use one of the silvers or gold for this process, but for practicing, brass wire is great, or copper wire, whatever you want to use. Flat nose pliers, round nose pliers. I probably should put them where you can see them. Tape, and a mandrel that can be the handle of a dapping punch, a jump ring, maker mandrel, a dowel, piece of tubing, anything that's the size you want and round. This is from a swage block set. So the first thing we need to do is take our 20 gauge and cut approximately 10 to 15 centimeters of wire. So you want two pieces the same size. Guys, let's everyone behave and have no cat problems during this video. Okay, there we go. And now we need a couple pieces of tape. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you want to tape the wire together so that they are side by side. And you want to make sure that they don't cross anywhere. So you want to keep this smooth and even all the way down. There we go. This is fabulous. This is simply fabulous. Okay, so now we're going to take this little headbandy looking thing, and approximately in the middle we're going to make this curve. Now the bigger this curve is, the bigger this part of the earring is. So if you look at these two next to each other, this one has a bigger area here and this one has a smaller area. So I'm going to make this a little smaller, like that. Then I'm going to take my round nose, which I have marked all the way around and on the interior surface where I want to make my loop. The deal with these is that the size of this is going to determine the size of the little loop that you're going to hang your earring part off of, like this ugly thing I made, but I just did it for example purposes. So you know, take that into consideration. If you want a smaller loop, use closer to the tips. And remember, these are conical shaped right in here, so we want to be able to go in from both sides to make these shapes, otherwise one side will be smaller than the other. So what I'm going to do is come in here where the V meets, and I'm going to pull this back like that, and then I'm going to come in from the other side and do it so that they're even. Okay, so we have a loop like that. Then I'm going to come in again with my round nose. I'm going to pull them all the way up till it's not easy to pull them anymore. And I'm still on my line, and I'm going to make a loop. Like that. Come in on the other side, loop it too. Okay. Now I'm going to do a 90-degree bend down straight on this. Like that. Okay. All right. And before I forget, what you want to do is take your fingers and kind of create this backward arc here. This is the back side of the ear wire. Make sure these are still together. I might add another piece of tape. They seem to want to be separating, and I don't really appreciate that. Uh-oh, there's a cat approaching. Hold on to your treats. Okay, so once we get that part done and the curve done, then we're going to do another 90-degree bend here. Now, this thing, whatever it's called, is this area right in here. And so if you're going to use a wider plier, you're going to have a wider area from here to here. I'm going to use these beading pliers, which have a really fine tip on them, so that that area is smaller. So what am I doing? Look, my cat's over here making me nervous. Okay, so I'm going to squeeze this and I'm going to bend it back like that. Okay, and this is, I can square it up if I want, or round it. You could even do this bend here with round nose pliers. So at this point, we need to separate the two pieces, which means yanking this tape off. Probably the hardest part of the job here. Okay, almost done. Trying to do this very fast. All right, so now we've got separate our little guys and get the tape off my fingers. So I'm going to pull this out and give it a little spring, and oh, I know what I wanted to say. Okay, usually when you're doing these hooks, you want to have one hook on the left and one hook on the right. So I need to switch the position. Oh my God, my cat. You have to see this idiot. Oh, jeez. Go away. She's knocking everything over. They love videos. All right, now I've lost my stuff. Thanks, Petey. All right, so I'm going to make my little loop here, and I've switched these so that the wire is on different sides. And I'm going to come in with my round nose back at my location again, and I'm going to make a really little loop like that. Actually, it should even be tighter than that. Okay. Pretty close together. And we'll do the same with the other one here. And you want to try to space this loop in about approximately the same place that the other one was. This is where only one of the few places where you can actually go wrong. I'll make sure I'm doing this in the right direction. Probably not. It's a video. Nothing ever goes right. And the cat always shows up. Okay, so we got our loop. So now I'm going to trim this loop. I'm going to use the flat side of my flush cutters. Make sure I'm cutting the right thing, and I want to leave a little hook there. So there's my little hook. And then I'm going to do the same with the other one. Trim it off, leave a little hook. Flip them over. Make sure you're cutting the right thing. All right, so these now can open up a little bit. So now this loop can be adjusted at this point if you want. You can try to do them together on the same plier at the same time, which will help keep things copacetic. I'm pulling that down. It's my cat again, sorry. So these are looking pretty well matched here. Of course, I put the hook on the wrong side like I thought I was going to do. Okay, so then the next trick, and we're almost done, is to slide these back onto your mandrel again. I'm going to put them into the hook. And then I'm going to trim both of them at the same time so that I have equal length. And uh-oh, I fucked them together. Get off there, bugger. Okay, so the other thing you want to do is you want to scope down the piece and straighten up anything that's not lined up. You want to line everybody up with one another. And then you can open this wider for some spring, and then you have a locking ear wire. Now your piece that you're going to be hanging off it, I'm just going to use this earring as an example, fits in there. And then you take your round nose and squeeze it shut. I would even squeeze it past the other wire a little bit that way, and then you can just flatten it out again. So then your earring hangs off like that. And another thing I would do is use a cup burr on this end of the wire and this end of the wire so that everything is nice and smooth. You want to match the cup burr to the shape of the wire. And if this gets out of whack here, you can always re-square it up. You want to have it looking nice and level. So, where did the one I just made go? Take it off. So there you have a perfectly almost matched pair of ear wires in, what was that, 5 minutes? Even with a cat interruption, it was quick. So anyway, that's my tip for the day. So I hope you learned a lot on this and liked the tip. I would go ahead and practice a little bit, use brass wire, copper wire, something like that, and then move on to your silver or golds. And many happy earrings to you. Hope this speeds up your life, your production life, that is. Don't forget to subscribe. Visit me at nancylthamilton.com. I'm also on Facebook and Pinterest and other places. So thank you for joining me. I'll see you soon.